Greetings to you today and welcome to our daily Devo for Thursday, the 13th of June today. The title of our devotion today is Hospitality, and the hospitality side of things, story side, comes from a writing by Charles Dickens entitled The Battle of Life. Interesting, The Battle of Life. Tomorrow was a bright and peaceful day, and nowhere were the autumn tints more beautifully seen than from the quiet orchard of the doctor's house. Snows of many winter nights had melted from that ground. The withered leaves of many summer times had rustled there. The honeysuckle porch was green again. The trees cast bountiful and changing shadows on the grass. The landscape was as tranquil and serene as it had ever been. Alfred Heathfield had not become a great man. He had not grown rich. He had not forgotten the scenes and friends of his youth. He had not fulfilled any of the doctor's old predictions, but in his useful, patient, unknown visiting of poor men's homes, and in his watching of sickbeds, and in his daily knowledge of the gentleness and goodness flowering by the bypaths of this world, not to be trodden down beneath the heavy foot of poverty, but springing up, elastic in its track, and making its way beautiful. He had better learned and proved in each succeeding year the truth of his old faith. The manner of his life, though quiet and remote, had shown him how often men still entertained angels unawares, as in the olden time, and how the most unlikely forms, even some that were mean and ugly to the view, and poorly clad, became irradiated by the couch of sorrow, want, and pain, and changed to ministering spirits with a glory round their heads. It's an interesting picture painted there. Multiple pictures, really, of nature and of people and situations that they may find themselves in. So now let's learn about some of those names mentioned there, thanks to Gene Fisher. Alfred Heathfield, ward of wealthy Dr. Jedler, had not found greatness in his years as a doctor for the poor. Instead, he gleaned life lessons while he, quote unquote, entertained angels unawares. As Dickens often did in his writing, he borrowed this phrase from the Bible. Hebrews 13:2, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Entertain in this verse means to be hospitable, to treat strangers in a warm, friendly, generous way. In Genesis 18, Abraham showed hospitality to 3 visitors. One he recognized as God, but the other 2 were unfamiliar. Abraham said, let a little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under the tree. Let me get you something to eat so you can be refreshed. And that's in verses 4 and 5 of Genesis 18. Later, we discover that these men with God were angels. They blessed Abraham with prophetic news. Abraham and his wife Sarah, a childless couple, would soon have a son. Showing hospitality to strangers often leads to unexpected blessings. As Alfred Heathfield discovered, entertaining angels unawares can bring us life lessons and draw us closer to our faith. Even the mean and ugly have lessons to teach us about loving God and practicing hospitality, by extending Christian hospitality to others, we serve Jesus and glorify God the Father. And though you may expect nothing in return, you may find that your hospitality blesses you more than the one whom you serve. And an amen to that. 1 Peter 4:9, be hospitable to one another without grumbling. Having just returned from Dominican Republic, I'm once again awed by their hospitality, by their kindness, by their friendliness. They bend over backwards to meet your needs, to help you, to be there for you. And it's humbling. It really is. But it's also a joy to be included in, to be welcomed in, to be provided for in that way. And hospitality is a very special gift to have. For some, it's an individual gift. For others, it's cultural. It's just what you do with those who are visiting, whether you like them or not, or whatever the case may be, they still welcome you in and make you part of the family, even though they may have never met you before. Hospitality is a wonderful, wonderful gift to have. And especially if you have more than they do, and yet they share their little with you. That's the humbling part. That's the humbling part. Too often, we don't want to show hospitality because it takes our time or it takes our resources. We just don't know how to do it, oftentimes in Western cultures. But this is a great picture. This man who'd been a doctor, not found success in it, spent his time ministering to the poor and needy, those for whom life had become hard and their life was slowly ebbing away. He devoted himself to that. And that's laying down your life for others kind of hospitality. But it is a blessing. It's a blessing to give it. It's a blessing to receive it. And it should be the hallmark of the followers of Jesus. Blessings to you today. And don't forget, an angel might knock on your door. Welcome him in. Blessings.